Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the RGTV YouTube channel. I just came back from the Seattle Sounders 0-0 draw versus Cruz Azul at home. First of all, I just want to say I had a few of my friends text me like, "Man, this game's kind of boring." Honestly, it didn't feel like that in the stadium when I was there. Maybe that's in part due to just to the fact that where I was sitting, strictly Cruz Azul fans for the most part. Like if you had extrapolated that section to every single section in the stadium, it would have been a complete away game. Maybe that made it feel more intense than it really was, but um, yeah. So my thoughts on the match. Honestly, the game was so intense that I need to really kind of go back and watch if I can. I heard there was like problems. People couldn't really stream the game. So if I can, I would like to go back and watch it. But just my thoughts. I thought after the first 10 or so minutes, I was like, man, we might be screwed because the intensity levels were not there. And one thing I will say about Liga MX, it's not like their talent is super great, but man, are they intense. The intensity that they play at is far greater than most, if not all, MLS matches. Like a lot of MLS matches are played at a very slow pace, and they really brought it. And it started out to me, it looked like we weren't really prepared for that. But over the course of the game, especially the second half, we really did match that intensity, and we ended up taking over. I thought we had more of the ball, more chances. They weren't really offering much to us or against us offensively. Um, Guys, a 0-0 draw at home, it's disappointing. No if, ands, or buts about it, especially when you factor in the fact that they were missing many key starters who will, by the way, more than likely be back the next leg at home. Considering we also had chances and guys, you know what? I'll start with the positives first. Christian Roldan, what an absolute friggin' maniac. What a beast. The guy was everywhere. He is the engine of this team. And I thought particularly what really impressed me about him was there was a few moments where they were playing with so much intensity and they were pressing him, and he really did a great job of just controlling that ball and fighting off pressure and connecting that next pass. And I thought he was exceptional at that little stuff, at the little things like that, and he made a lot of good tackles as well. Obed Vargas played a great ball into Jordan Morris around the 15th minute, and Jordan. I don't know how many times we have to have this discussion, guys. I'm kind of getting sick of it, so I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to touch on it too much, but this game is just another example of proving that Jordan Morris is not a prolific nine that you need to win silverware. He's just not clinical. I'm not saying Jordan score every single chance you get, man, but you got three good chances that an elite striker puts away one of those chances, in my opinion, and he did not put away any of them. The first chance he got, like I said, great ball from Obed, who just keeps increasing his value by the game, and just very impressed with him. But yeah, he plays in Jordan Morris around the 15th minute. Jordan has all the time in the world to get a shot off, and he slows the ball down, and he does this a lot, where he just instead of just having the aggression to go and just take the damn chance, he slows it down and he allows the defender to come in from behind. He allows the keeper to come in, close him down, and he can't get a clean shot off. And there's people kind of complaining about the handball guys. If that's our level, complaining about handballs where the guy falls and it just happens to barely touch his hand, then we're a joke. Okay, it's not a real excuse for this game. Like I said, Jordan Morris, three chances, had to put one of them away, if not two, and he couldn't come through. And listen, I've been on record many times. I love the guy. I really do. I have just as much of a place in my heart for him as other people. But just because you're a diehard fan of the club doesn't mean you can't criticize your players, especially when for as much flack as Jordan gets about his technical ability, I do think that he's a solid striker on his day. Like I think he is a very dangerous threat on his day, and it's why it's so frustrating is because you know that Jordan Morris has that capability to be like a clinical striker in moments. Like he's shown it in the playoffs. He's tied first in playoff goals. Like he has that ability, and we saw it even last playoffs. That goal against LAFC. it's just frustrating when you see him make these decisions and miss these chances where you're like, bro, you have to be more like you're being paid as a designated player for a team that is going to be favored to, or at least one of the favorites to win MLS Cup, and wants to achieve a lot this season and win silverware. You're that kind of DP for that kind of club. You need to be putting one of these chances away, bro. You have to. And now, because you haven't, we're left with a 0-0 draw, having to win away at Cruz Azul to advance. And what sucks too is that Chivas Guadalajara is up 1-0 against Club America. Not saying that Club America won't come back, but there is a chance where it could be us versus Chivas, and that's the ideal matchup that you would have wanted that next round. And having that 1-2 early makes it a lot more manageable. But man, you got to go away at Cruz Azul and get that win when they have all their starters, guys. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. But what I will say is if we can go in and get that win, stocks up, stonks all the way up. Seattle Sounders might be the next Bitcoin if that happens. I doubt it though. But I'll always back this team. I hope we get it done. Another thing I want to touch on as well is Pedro de la Vega is the best attacker that we have, in my opinion. And Rusnak did have some nice moments. He played a couple nice passes. But De La Vega, in my opinion, is our most talented attacker. And his fitness levels, his sharpness is just night and day compared to where he ended off last season. And I thought it was a bad mistake on Brian's end to keep Jordan Morris, who has the most minutes played by any attacker on this team. And he's already not been effective. Like, you can put in Jesus Ferreira, who makes really good runs in behind that Rusnak could also find. That players could find him in behind. You would rather have Ferreira at the 9, just in general, but then you factor in that Morris has a lot of wear and tear on his body already this season. I feel like that was the sub to make, and you take out Pedro de la Vega, who was arguably the best attacker that game, had the goal, really good composure, great finish. Obviously, doesn't count because of the offside, but also had a great ball into Jordan Morris, who skied the header. He was feeling it that game, and when you just see the level of Georgie and Rothrock, like, man, it's just not even close. It's just not even close. And then Ferreira, like, having him on the right side compared to having him at the 9 is just not a good decision. It wasn't. And you could see visibly that Pedro de la Vega was frustrated when he came off, and I would be too if I was playing great like that and you took me off in favor of a guy who was bottling the game offensively. But really stonks up for Pedro de la Vega, and I'm happy because there's a few Sounders hills that I'm willing to die on. He was one of them. No matter how many people say, "Oh, Pedro de la Vega is a bust," which is crazy, by the way, after one. We've talked about this in the previous video. If you want to check it out, we detailed why we thought Pedro de la Vega would have a breakout year this year. People were just basically writing him off. I'm like, guys, bro, what are you guys seeing with your own eyes? What are you guys watching? The kid is very, very talented. And I'm glad that he's sharp, he's fit, he's healthy, and he's making a lot of a difference. Unfortunately, on any other night, he walks away with a goal and assist here, but things happen. Shit happens, man. Yeah, Jesus Ferreira came in, looked very timid, and that really bothers me because, like, for example, he was played in behind, and I really wish like he would just take that ball to goal. And even if you got bodied and you don't get a good shot off, I would rather see him do that than settle for across that is a tough ball to hit, and even if it gets there, a tough angle for either I believe it was Jordan or Ariel or whoever it was to get on the end of it, like, and then when he got the ball, he just looked shaky. His touches weren't that sharp. Like, there's things about Ferrer where that he's a talented player. Like, he's a smart guy. He makes very good runs, and I'm not gonna panic. I think he'll be fine. But it's just games like this. Like, it's not a good look when you're brought in as the marquee signing. And for you to be timid in these kind of games, it's not a good look. It's a bit of a red flag. But at least with him, he's still getting settled in to the team. So it could just be that. But ultimately, that was a bit frustrating to watch. But let's just look real quick at the next matchup. So we play Cruz Azul away. For anyone who doesn't know, they were missing quite a few key starters that will be in the team for the next game. And guys, I don't see us pulling it off. I really don't. Um, if we do, then like I said, stonks up on the season overall. But I don't see us pulling it off. I really don't. And we had to make it manageable for ourselves here, and we failed to do it. So I see us going home, which is a shame because this is the tournament that we won, guys. We're the only MLS team to win this tournament. This tournament means something to us, and I thought we had the team to make a run. Um, so it is going to be disappointing if we do go out. I do hope that we somehow pull it out of the bag here, away from home at Cruz Azul, but I personally don't see that happening. All right, guys, and that's gonna be that for the review. Like I said, I wish I can just go back and watch, the game from a technical perspective, I guess, not as a fan in an intense environment. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. Thank you very much for all your support, viewing our live streams, leaving comments and likes and subscribing. We appreciate all of it, and especially our members as well. Guys, if you haven't checked out already, we do offer a membership program where whenever you're in any live stream that we do, and we do quite a few of them, your chat will be highlighted and prioritized when we're doing our messages. And you also have the access to these little sounder stickers or emojis that we do have that only you guys get to use in the chat, and I think they're pretty cool. And ultimately, it just helps support the channel. So if you haven't checked that out already, would appreciate it if you do. Um, Other than that, guys, please make sure you subscribe, throw a like on this video, and yeah, you guys have a blessed